Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is how to deal with people who are kind of cramping your style. Now, you might find yourself pursuing your dreams, and you're just going along, and you're doing your thing, and you're talking. Maybe you're talking to a friend or somebody who is nothing but more than a casual acquaintance. And they may say some disparaging things to you about the pursuit of your goals and dreams. Like maybe they'll say, "Hey, why are you trying to do that? You can never be successful at that because there's so many people who are already doing it and they're already better than you at doing that stuff. So why are you doing that stuff?" Or maybe they'll say, "Hey, are you sure that this is a good thing for you to be doing? Because maybe you lack necessary talents." Well, remember that whenever anybody is trying to discourage you, what they're doing is that they are jealous of your courage, and so they're trying to diss your courage. And so don't let people diss your courage. And so when they're trying to say negative things to bring you down, you just say, "Hey, don't try to discourage my courage. Don't diss my courage, because I'm a brave and strong individual. And even though none of us are special in total sense, because we're all the same thing. So if we're all the same thing, then we're not special. Then the only way the way you become special is you do like special stuff. And then but you got to believe that you're capable of doing the super special stuff, and then you can be super special. So don't let anyone diss your courage, and remember that you're in control. You're the person of authority over you. Okay, well, I hope it's going good for you, and you're, being happy and safe and stuff. And all right, I found my remote. I didn't lose the remote, but I just didn't. I just know where it was last time. So anyway, but I got the remote.
Oh, I'm muted. This is not turning out well at all. Already from the get. Good morning. How are you, Mrs. Dreads? I hope you paid attention to the case.
I did.
Okay, because I did not.
Of course you didn't.
I did, but I had so many other things, and I was tired this morning. And
excuses.
I'm sticking to it. Good morning, Mr. Nanners. Mr. Nanners, otherwise known as Morgan Wellborn, director. That's right. We're gonna talk. First of all, we got a very sickening true crime story. We have talked about some cases before. And anytime a case involves children, it is you are yawning literally right into the mic. Are you tired?
A little bit. Did you put the parental advisory up there?
Yeah, there is a parental advisory. Dave the Stoner's up there in the corner. Letting everyone know, because this is, when we get into this case, this is well, it's quite fucking disturbing.
It's just gross.
It's just absolutely gross. It goes as far as defiling cupcakes.
Yeah.
And puppy dogs.
Yeah.
This is bad.
And children.
Children,
and
a couple adults. I mean, nobody is left out of the loop, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes. We got a couple articles from one of my favorite websites, Smoking Gun. You just have some funny stuff. Used to call them fluffer articles. One, we're going to Florida for one of them.
Of course we are.
Tiny taunt lands felon back behind bars. This man beats his ex after text about the size of his manhood. And an Indiana man coming to the Midwest with this one. An Indiana man was busted for a DUI while driving a Power Wheels Jeep. He was hammered driving his Jeep home. And then, of course, we're going to talk about that case. Dennis and Cynthia. Is it Cynthia?
Yeah.
Dennis and Cynthia Perkins, along with their third-party cohort, chick by the name of Melanie. I don't remember her.
She
last
wasn't in
name.
there. She wasn't it.
She would know.
It was like
she
a
was.
day.
What got her was she was in the video that they found.
Yeah.
Because they documented all this stuff. But yeah, like I said, we'll get into more of that. I do want to start out by saying thank you to everyone who has participated in the Hellvirus Haunted Asylum of Horror Kickstarter, which is going on right now, as you can see right there. Very, very close to the 2,000 goal, which I believe is for set design. All of this, Morgan has really laid all of this out. As you can see, I'm over here at the Kickstarter. Pretty badass poster right there. I actually have a shirt with that on it right there. Travel on it. Look at all these really cool stuff down at the bottom, add-ons that you can, it's kind of like the last minute, like you get up to the register, and you got all the candy bars and shit there. And that's what Morgan's done down here, man. As you scroll down, you look at all the neat stuff and look at all these the swags, all the swag. And check out Helvira on the Run. That is on Cineverse. It got picked up by I cannot Morgan, if you can let me know real quick in the chat. It just got picked up by another distribution place. So the short Helvira on the Run. And you can see here, this is the main part that I want to mention with this campaign, which I'm a part of. Dave the Stoner, the Flesh and Blood. Why are you looking at me all weird?
Just listening to you.
Just listening. Okay. And here is something that I like, and you can see right here all of the where all the money is being allocated to. Actors, merch, fees, equipment. You can see why the budget is $25,000. You can see where your money's going, which is good, because unfortunately there's a lot of there's a lot of filmmakers out there that are not, let's say, staying true to their perks. That is not going to be the case when you back and help support Hellvira's Haunted Asylum of Horror, Morgan's first feature. So, of course, not just because he's in the chat. Cineverse, Zumu, Sling TV, and Future Today. That is where you can check out the short Hellvira on the Run. So Hopefully, it's doing pretty well over on Kickstarter. I got a good feeling about this. I feel it in my gut. The phrase today: "Don't diss my courage." Are you dissing my courage, Mrs. Dreads?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. You better not. All right, you ready to talk about? Women say, size doesn't matter. But
apparently
if
it
size
does.
don't matter, there's no reason to bring up the fact that it's teeny tiny. Or at least the Florida man, Rashad McGriff, 30 years old, would seem to think. He's behind bars on battery and burglary charges after allegedly attacking his former girlfriend who taunted him via text about having a little penis.
Wow.
You guys, you women really know how to get to us guys. I mean, it doesn't really, I'm not trying to say what he did was right.
Because who's to say he went and bashing the shit out of her?
I mean,
saying stuff about her.
I mean, true. But still, police say he punched and choked the victim. Well, this is early yesterday. When did this little article come out? August 30th. So not that long ago, last week. After showing up uninvited at her Vero Beach home, McGriff, who has a lengthy rap sheet, doesn't look like a very nice guy. I wouldn't make fun of his tiny dick. I'm just saying.
He's going to be showing up at our house.
He's going to come. Well, he can't now. He's currently on probation following a conviction in March for possessing a firearm by a convicted felon. So he's not very fucking smart either. He is the father of 3 children. So it's big enough. Right?
Sure.
Funny thing is, in this article, they have a little picture of baby cut carrots. Investigators say that the 42-year-old woman was in her bed with McGriff when McGriff got into the house, which he has no commitments to. McGriff then allegedly punched the woman in the face and choked her.
So he got into bed with her.
She was in her bed.
Oh.
When he broke in.
Oh.
And then just went in and punched her and obstructed her ability to breathe temporarily. So he started choking her, punched her. The woman who was bleeding from the bridge of her nose told police that she had texted McGriff a photo of someone else's penis and advised Rashad he had a little one. McGriff did not respond to the text she had, but instead arrived at her residence.
So technically he did respond.
Oh, he responded. All right. He showed up about midnight, gave her one right to the old snot locker. Pow, right in the fucking nose. McGriff had departed the woman's home before the cops arrived. He is listed as a cook in jail records. Was arrested and booked in the county jail on $16,000 bond.
So for assault and battery and breaking and entering,
burglary and battery.
So what did he steal?
Oh, was it burglary?
Or is it just B&E?
Burglary charges.
What did he steal?
His dignity back, apparently. Yeah, he says it's scheduled for arraignment in the battery and burglary case on October 19th this year. The judge ordered McGriff to have no contact with the victim, who told police that she was in fear of McGriff because he had stated, quote, "I'll kill you, bitch."
It must be really little.
Right? I mean, you're going to take a life because of the size of your penis? That says something. I mean, that speaks volumes to me. I would know. The woman who has previously sued McGriff 3 times for failure to pay child support.
So he's a father of her 3
Yes.
of her 3 kids.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, court hearing has been scheduled for October 12th for the most recent domestic relations case. So that's just, ladies, let's leave our little buddies out of this. All right.
I'm pretty sure he's not innocent in this matter. I mean, he did punch her
Well,
in the face, so
no,
of
I
course
mean,
he's
he
not
did go
innocent,
into her
but
house, break into her
I'm
house.
saying that he's probably said some pretty harsh things too.
I'm not saying that he didn't, but that's kind of a low blow. It's like kick him in the nuts. That's all
Literally.
girls want to do. Kick him in the nuts. Kick him in the nuts. Going right for the sweet spot. You know who else went for the sweet spot? John McKee of Indiana. You ever been so drunk, sir?
He went to the sweet spot.
He went to the sweet spot. You ever been so drunk that you hop on a kid's toy and ride it around?
You have.
I have.
Big wheel.
A big wheel. This guy was driving one of those Power Wheels Jeeps that are like our grandson has.
It's just why? Why
Yeah.
would you charge him? That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, he's not going to hurt anybody.
No, I would.
You
I mean, it's
know?
more of fear for his safety than it is
Exactly, but I don't think
other
he should
people's
really
safety.
be penalized for that.
It's not like he's going to cause. I mean, he may cause a car accident.
This thing can only go 5 miles an hour unless it's modified.
Because
Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this. So they pulled him over because he had no reflectors or lights.
Yes, he was pulled over around 9 p.m. This is Wednesday. When did this little doodad come out? 25th of August. Notice him, a state police, a state trooper. Noticed him driving a blue Power Wheels without lights or reflectors.
So is he driving down the middle of the street? Or was he on the side of the road?
It says he was on an Indiana roadway.
So that still doesn't say whether he was on the side of the road or if he was in the middle of the road.
Middle
if
of
he was
the
in
road.
the lane.
Right.
I mean, if he was in the lane,
Did he
I can
cross
understand.
left to center?
Did he not stop at a red
Did
light?
he not use his turn signal when switching lanes? McKee was stopped near his home in central Indiana, near the border of Illinois.
So what would cause him to just hop on a Hot Wheel?
He was drunk and he was smoking meth and, had a little bit of the devil's lettuce. If he'd have just stuck with the devil's lettuce, this may have not have happened.
It may have.
It may have,
comedy.
But since he appeared impaired, the trooper administered a field sobriety test. Sir, will you step out of the Power Wheels? Turn your light, turn the key off.
And I thought it was bad when they talk about the ones where like people get pulled over on the tractors.
Yeah.
So now it's gone to an all new low.
Or like an Amish and a horse and buggy getting pulled over,
Yes, sir.
He
riding drunk.
I mean, he obviously reportedly failed his sobriety test. He agreed to do a blood draw at a local hospital, which found the devil's lettuce crystal meth in his system. He was released after posting a $5,000 bond on a felony rap, according to the Knox County Sheriff's Office records. His rap sheet includes numerous convictions for crimes like trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, devil's lettuce possession, criminal mischief. As for his ride, if you're wondering,
they impounded it.
They absolutely did. His ride, which, as I mentioned, can top out at 5 miles an hour, a whopping 5 miles an hour, unless modified. Troy's Towing of Indiana, give them a call. Troy's Towing. How you like that? Was contacted to take possession of the Power Wheels.
Huh.
So they literally impounded his fucking Power Wheels.
So it always makes you wonder.
Where did he get it? They don't mention that. I mean, they don't mention whether or not he had kids,
Or if he stole it.
or if he stole it at
Or if it's just his.
I mean, because you can walk faster than what this fucking thing's probably going to take you. I mean, 5 miles an hour. Yeah, I can walk damn near 5 miles an hour.
Really?
Probably not.
Just a damn.
Speed walker. So that's funny to me. I think he was going to meet up with the other guy. He was on his way to Florida.
Oh, the
No.
little penis guy?
Yeah. He might have been on his way to help him out. And it
He's
only
gonna be the getaway car.
that was the getaway car. He was a little late.
A little.
He was a little late. And that's how this show's starting out. I heard your belly grumble.
That was my throat.
That was your throat?
Yeah.
What was wrong with you?
I don't know.
All right. Mrs. Dred, you want to kick us off with this? I don't even know how to wrap my head around this thing.
Did this happen in Florida? I did not catch the location on where.
No, this was Louisiana.
I
The
know you said Cape
LBI,
Coral.
there, Louisiana Bureau of Investigations.
That's right.
Dennis.
Is it one in Baton Rouge?
Huh?
Or they in Baton?
I believe so. Yes, I do have an article. The Livingston Parish.
Oh, that's right.
This is Cynthia and Dennis Perkins. Dennis was a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia, 3 miles an hour. 3 miles an hour is average walking speed, so says Mr. Nanners. So,
who the hell's walking?
Who knows?
Who's walking during these surveys? Because there ain't no way in hell I'm walking 3 miles in an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I ain't walking through. No, I mean, I probably.
I may walk about a mile and a half.
I could probably do half of that before I fall down and have a heart attack on the side of the road.
Well, I have to stop like 13 times. So.
True. Yeah. Yes. Dennis, as I mentioned, a cop. Cynthia was a teacher
For middle school.
I was going to say middle school because they were about what, 12 years old. I mean, her students weren't like, real young. They were young, 12, 13 years old. What grade?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it mentioned. And as I mentioned, among other things, bestiality, defiling of cupcakes, which I found just absolutely horrendous because I'm a big fan of cupcakes. I didn't like hearing the cupcake thing amongst everything else that happened. These two, this guy, it's hard for me to put into words what this guy, and the type of shit that he would do. There was an instance, this guy was so fucked in the head. All right. And such a sexual deviant. He pulled over a woman at one point. Mm-hmm. Apparently this woman is just driving around. They say with just no underwear on. I mean, it's
not uncommon for women to, if they're leaving the house for a reason or something, and have like the clothes they're wearing throughout the day to not have panties on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Man, if I walk out of the house with no fucking underwear on, I feel naked.
Well, see, you guys got junked like a woman not wearing a bra.
Yeah.
You guys just got it down below.
I ain't got much down below. I'm like the other guy. Keep your mouth shut. We're going to have problems live on air.
Well, the sickest thing about him is, I mean, everything that he did is atrocious. But the fact is that he videotaped it.
He did.
That he videotaped everything that he was doing. I mean, the chick you were talking about.
Reality. I'm waiting for it to.
Like the one you were talking about with him pulling the chick over. I mean, he positioned his camera when he was first talking to her to look down her shirt,
right,
so he could see her breast. Mm-hmm. And then she has to like bend over, not really bend over, but turn over to look in her passenger seat for her driver's license. So then he can get the camera looking up her shorts so he can see her
What she's made
vagina
of. Right.
and stuff. And he kept telling her to do it, kept telling her to, kept persisting that she find her license so he could get more filming. Not the fact that he really gave two shits about her license.
Right.
He just wanted to check the goods.
Yeah. Yeah, he kept doing that, so she'd, bend over and get a little shot of the punani.
But that's like the lightest thing that he did out
That
of
that
the
is
shit that he
that
did.
is the most. That's not even that bad. I don't even remember how he got caught. How did they get caught? I cannot remember for the life of me how
I
they
think
got
somebody
caught.
had seen a video or something. Well, because somebody was drugged. I can't remember who it was drugged, and I think that she went and said something because she didn't remember, because she had woke
she ended up in another room than
Yeah,
what
she woke
she
up
last
in the
remembered.
Cynthia chick's daughter's room, and it was her and her daughter that were there. And she said that they said that she had one drink and passed out and stuff up. And when she woke up the next morning, she was in the Cynthia chick's daughter's room, and she had no recollection or anything on how she got there and stuff. So, because I mean, there was witnesses. I mean, there was no murder or anything with that. It was just more. So they had people. I mean,
Yeah, because there was, as I mentioned, there was a couple kids.
Yeah.
There was a couple adults involved, and you mentioned a dog.
Yeah, that was just insane.
And then, of course, the
Cupcakes, pastries, different pastries.
Yeah.
And the sick part about that is she would serve them to her kids at school.
But yeah, he would relieve himself in a sexual manner. He'd jerk off in the batter.
Yeah,
basically.
He'd come in the
He'd jerk off in the batter. They'd make the cupcakes. This chick would take the cupcakes to her students.
Yeah.
And feed them the
semen.
And man, there's a little slang term I've always used for sperm. It's called baby batter. This puts a whole new spin on it. This is one sick fuck. Now let's talk about some of these videos. They have a video of this Cynthia and a 12-year-old girl.
She was 11. I think she was 11.
11. Holding her head.
Yep.
While this guy puts his penis in her mouth, is touching her. There was
penetrated.
He even penetrated this young girl. There was
the two girls sitting on the bed, and he was jacking off.
Yeah.
With them sitting there, and he would get off, and it would show in the video like him coming between their feet.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then he was just disgusting.
Yeah. And this guy, I mean, I've always said, I don't, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't put people on certain, levels, of morality, I guess you could say, due to their title. I don't put cops higher than me. Yes, they have a dangerous job. A lot of people have dangerous jobs. Construction workers have dangerous jobs. We don't put them on a pedestal. Okay. I'm not shitting on the cops, but they are just people. They're just like us. Unfortunately, I think it goes, a lot of people, there's a lot of information out there that says, yes, cops tend to, domestic violence is more prevalent in a home with a cop. That's just facts. I'm not shitting on them, but my point is they are just fucking people like us.
Yeah, we had a family friend of ours who she was married to a cop and he would abuse her.
It's
because then they go under the whole blue code thing where
yeah, right. I mean, yeah,
where
they have they'll have the whole department, you know, backing them. I don't think that was the case here.
No, because when a lot of this stuff was committed, he was an ex-cop. He wasn't even a cop anymore.
Right.
But he was foul.
These they found what, about 70 actual photographs. And when they say photographs in this context of children,
yeah, these are
they mean video and they mean still pictures. That's what is, it's not just a picture when they say photograph,
right?
It's video as well. And they found like 70 different pictures, videos of kids, and then his Google searches.
Right. And just imagine though, because there was only two children that were involved with the stuff they did.
Yes.
And 2 adults. Imagine the trauma and the hell that those 2 children went through to obtain that many videos, to obtain that many pictures and stuff. What it had to be so repetitive, and the stuff that had been done to them, because I'm sorry, you're not going to take just all those videos in one night.
No,
And then they both have kids. That's what kills me is they both have kids, and yet they still subject children to this.
And Cynthia's kids is actually with her ex-husband.
Yeah. Which one of them, trying to remember if it was Cynthia or if it was Dennis. I think one of the children were a family member of Dennis, because when they go through like the victim statements and stuff towards it, that they talk about how
one a friend of theirs let their little girl come over and stay with them. Is that what you were talking about? And I don't know.
It might have been her, but I know that one of them was closely, like, maybe not that kind of related, but related to Dennis.
Right.
That they had known if she was, they've known her since it was just insane. I just don't understand why. What somebody's attraction would be to little kids.
Yeah, no, I don't get it at all. This article, I'm going to read a little bit through this article. Former sheriff's deputy in Louisiana, he was sentenced to 100 years in prison in exchange for a guilty plea in the case of sex crimes that stunned the community. This happened in 2019 when everything came out. During a court hearing, officials said the plea agreement includes a stipulation that former Livingston Parish Deputy Dennis Perkins will not be eligible for appeal, probation, or parole.
Nope.
He will never see the light of day unless he looks out his little window. Officials said Perkins pleaded guilty of rape, sexual battery of children, video voyeurism, child pornography, and covering desserts with his own semen so that they could later be fed to children.
That's just gross.
What goes through someone's mind? Like, okay, it's bad enough that you're doing the things that you're doing to these children, but you're like, being a pedophile, it's kind of lost its oomph. It lost its pop. Maybe if I jerk off on these cupcakes and feed it to them, that'll satisfy. I don't understand the thought process here.
No.
I mean, it's really hard to even put into words.
But okay, because you have Cynthia, she got 41 years for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then during like the family statements and stuff, they claimed that she was in fear of her life and she was in fear of Dennis and stuff, and that's why she went along. Chick, you knew that he got off on these cupcakes and you still took them and fed them to your students. Because I'm sorry, and if you want to say it was under duress that you did that, okay, you still don't have to feed them to your students.
Yeah,
It's not like he's following you in school and watching every move that you make.
Right.
I mean, if it was something like you got to do this, and watches you take the cupcakes out the door, throw the son of a bitches out your window. Do something else, but you fed them to your students. So you're as guilty and as much to blame as he is, and you should have got as much time.
Right.
Because then you have this girl, Melanie, who one situation she was in did not have anything to do with children at all. She got busted for voyeurism, and there was one other charge, and she's spending life in prison because she did not, because she went to trial.
Right.
But then you have this Cynthia who was involved with the whole thing the whole time
and tried to play it out like she was
a victim.
Yeah, a victim, you know. And we've seen that in numerous cases where there may be a couple and you know, the woman is like, oh, well, he forced me. I was scared he would kill me or blah,
and you have all this.
She was just as, you know, guilty.
Yeah, and she videotaped a lot of it. And she has all this evidence and stuff. Take it to somebody. You're a teacher, so you are leaving the house every day. There's nothing to stop you. Okay, is he tracking you? Does he have a tracker on your car? Is he seeing where you're going? Okay, then go to the school, hand the information over to somebody else so they can turn it in for you. There's plenty of ways. No, she was just as willing, and she was just as active as he was,
and just as guilty. Facebook user, which it's not coming up over here on my laptop. Who you are? But good point. Remember the dare days of run to a teacher or a cop or a principal or a priest.
They can't run to any of them.
That's a different world now. Is, you know, they say, who are you, person? Because it's not coming up over here. But a very good point nonetheless. Back when we were young, if we felt that, you know, oh, somebody touched my no spot. Or
stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no square.
Tanya would be so proud. I do not see her in the cab. She would be so proud. You know, if you felt uncomfortable, if an adult made you feel uncomfortable, you had a cop, a teacher. You were supposed to have a level of trust to go to these public officials,
right?
Whether it be a cop, a clergyman, whatever. You can't do that now.
No.
And, you know,
9 times out of 10, they're the ones you're running from.
Exactly. Right. I mean, you're not, no one's safe, you know, when it comes to whatever. I want to punch him in his no square. And
I bet he has a little penis.
I bet you he does.
That's why he's got to prey on little kids.
I mean, this guy, I don't even know where to fuck go with this guy. Perkins reportedly cried several times during the hearing and faced several of his victims as he pleaded guilty for the horrific crime.
No, he's crying because he knows he's busted, and he knows that there's no way of getting out of it.
Right.
You don't feel guilty for the shit you did. If you felt guilty or sorry for the shit you did, you would have never done it in the first place.
He says this, quote, "I'm sorry. It's been more than 3 years living in a box, and it's not about me. I just want to make this statement. Jesus Christ has forgiven me, and I am grateful for that. And I hope and pray that anybody that this affected will also find forgiveness and healing through Jesus Christ." Before he made his statement, one of Perkins' victims took the stand and told Perkins she hopes he spends every day worrying about his own safety.
Maybe does too.
Yeah, they're gonna have to keep him out. They put him in Gen Pop.
He's done.
He's done, and
because
a lot of times they'll do that on purpose.
Yeah, because for one, you have a child molester, and 2, he's a cop.
Yeah.
You have quite a few strikes to get into you.
Exactly. You're absolutely not worth my time, the female victim said. Instead of protecting, you chose abuse. Have a nice life in prison.
Yeah, and then you have another one you feel so bad for because she's like, you know, I can't sleep at night. I'm afraid to go out of my house. I'm afraid. I mean, you're taking children's innocence away from them. You're taking what parents work so hard to protect through those years of their life, and then you're just destroying it. You're someone that they feel that they thought they could trust. I mean, you literally have 2 of the big ones in one situation. You have a cop and you have a teacher. And I mean, you're destroying their innocence. They're never going to feel comfortable, regardless of how old, how much therapy, how much of this, how much that they get. They're never going to be right again. They're never, it's always going to be in the back of their mind that they cannot trust anybody.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I wear my life on, you know, my fucking sleeve. I'm kind of an open book. And I have dealt with, you know, some sexual abuse as a child. And not as serious as this. You do not get away from this. It is always on your mind. As you mentioned, Facebook user again, he's lucky he didn't get held accountable with a tire iron. Well, wait, just give it time. Lock in a sock.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to get beat down. As you mentioned, he's got the double whammy. He's a cop, an ex-cop who may have been responsible for putting some of that. And a lot of times I don't think they put cops that are arrested in Gen Pop because of that. But you're also a pedophile. Yeah. And you're also, you know, charged with raping children and doing just awful shit. The dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We forgot to mention the dog.
Jack off and put his scrotum in the dog's mouth.
And wasn't it something with the dog's ass or something? He like humping him or something.
He would. No, I think he would have the dog do something with his ass,
like lick his butthole or something. So. Put peanut butter on your butthole and let dog lick it off.
So gross.
Oh my god! So even the dog wasn't fine. The dog's like,
dog wasn't safe.
I just want fucking treats. This ain't a treat. I mean,
you're hitting on every single.
Yeah. The police actually saved the life of the Night Stalker. There's another comment by a Facebook user. He almost got beat to death by the community that apprehended him. I remember that. Yep. They seen his picture on you know all the newspapers and whatnot, and the community was going to take him down. They held him, I believe, until the cops got there.
What do they honestly think is going to happen? These people need their just desserts. They need to deal with the consequences. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not for violence at all and stuff, but you get what you
when it comes to a pedophile, string them up by their fucking nuts and
put them in general population.
Yeah.
Let those big ass prisoners do to him what he did to these kids.
I like to toss your salad, boy.
But why? What is the fascination with? I just don't understand. What is the fascination with little kids?
I don't. What do we know about his upbringing that may have added to this very demented way of thinking? Good morning, Tom. From This Is Tom's World.
Hi, Tom.
Do we know much about? You know that there isn't much to say about his background that I've heard,
and I don't. And honestly, in this case, I don't care.
Yeah,
because come on now, because the one girl, I think she was 11, and the other girl was under 17.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you thinking? What?
Yeah. And he was how old at the time of all this? I don't remember.
And how would the Cynthia chick, because she hadn't seen her kids in years,
right?
And here's the funny thing, and they stated it that she, like in the letter she wrote, she had stated that she wanted to apologize to her ex-husband, her soulmate, that having to raise their children alone and stuff. Okay, for one,
he's remarried.
And the kids are living a normal life.
Yeah. No abuse.
Nothing. But yet you're saying he's your soulmate, but yet you guys got divorced and you married this dentist dude. How much of a soulmate is he? How much of a connection did you guys actually have? Did he know you were a piece of shit? Did he know that you were going to do ignorant shit? I mean, was there signs there?
Yeah.
And he was like, look, apparently there was something there to where your kids got taken away and him permanent custody of them and you not able to see them.
Right. Either that or you signed your rights over.
Which
these, I don't. And then she tries to play the victim, which just absolutely just blows my mind.
Like I said, she had every avenue to turn this son of a bitch in.
She did.
And didn't do it.
Yeah. She absolutely did. I had a thought I had a little video because it wasn't just them. As you mentioned, this Melanie chick who she got
life in prison.
Yeah, she got life.
Like I said, she didn't have anything to do with the kids. Nothing. Let's put that out there. Maybe the shit she didn't do was kosher and that she shouldn't have done. But out of the three, she was the less harmful.
She was more, yeah.
Because they got her for voyeurism, and I cannot remember what the other one was. But they got her for 2 charges, and it didn't have anything at all pertaining to children.
Right. I have a
and she got the most time out of. I mean, he got 100 years.
He got 100.
But yet she got life in prison.
Right.
There's no chance she's ever going to get out. And the Cynthia chick got 41 years. That just baffles me.
That doesn't. She still can get out, and have some kind of life if she doesn't get.
Oh no.
I mean,
she's gonna be. There's no hope for her. She should have hoped that she got life in prison.
Right.
She should have hoped that she got 100 years in prison, because if she even gets out and she's 80, 90 years old, she's still gonna have to live with that on her head, and nobody's gonna accept her.
Right. Here's a little video talking about the third party and the some of the details of the 44-page indictment. Let's take a listen.
Also, new details tonight in the child sex crime case against Dennis and Cynthia Perkins. A third perpetrator is also described in court files just released today. Fox 44's Harrison Golden has the very latest on the charges they now face.
A 44-page indictment we've obtained lists 78 counts against former Deputy Dennis Perkins and 72 against his wife, former teacher Cynthia Perkins.
It's horrific. The allegations are horrific.
The charges include first-degree rape, attempted rape, video voyeurism, sexual battery of a child under 13, mingling harmful substances, producing child pornography, and in Dennis Perkins's case, sexually abusing an animal.
We're very confident, given the charges and given the law, that they're not going to get out of jail before trial.
The two were first arrested in October. The Livingston Sheriff's Office immediately fired Dennis Perkins, while Cynthia resigned from the parish school district. The indictments do not signal a conviction, though should a jury find the pair guilty of the charges, they face a total of 6,000 years in prison.
Jesus Christ!
Where we send a message, look, you're going to go to jail for a very, very, very long time.
1,000 years.
We need to stop this.
The indictment also suggests a third perpetrator was involved, though prosecutors have yet to name names.
We're going to continue to go through all the data,
We name names.
all the evidence we have, until we are satisfied that we have obtained justice.
Good morning, John.
For all victims in this case, and we deliver justice to all perpetrators.
Dennis Perkins' attorney is asking off the case, citing differences with his client. Meanwhile, Cynthia Perkins' lawyer, in a statement later in the day, said he awaits the opportunity to present Cynthia's story at the appropriate time. In Livingston, Harrison Golden, Fox 44 News.
Yeah, his attorney didn't want shit to do with him because he knew he was a sick fuck.
When have you ever heard of somebody getting 6,000 total
That's a
combined? Jesus Christ.
You, your kids, your grandkids, your whole ancestry is going to spend the rest of their life in prison.
6,000 years. Facebook user feels like parents versus teachers sometimes nowadays. Sent my daughter to school once and had to convince them to send her back home. She tried to jump her bike and wiped out. School convinced themselves she was being beaten. Luckily, that wasn't the case. It is that way. You parents, along with these children, as we mentioned, having, used to have safety nets, like cops, like teachers, like clergymen. That is not that's not the case anymore. And now parents, like the children, cannot trust teachers because you have people out here. Don't let your kids eat cupcakes from school. Let this be a lesson to you.
Yeah.
Because that's it just kills me. Even the fucking dog wasn't safe. Dog's like, what did I do? I ain't gonna tell nobody. I can't talk. Leave me out of this. Get your balls out of my mouth, weirdo. I don't get it, man.
Into videotaping. That's
Right.
Oh, and they said talk about like him having like childish, like immature things that he would do.
Yeah.
Like you'd have pictures of these girls. You'd have these girls take pictures of like with their mouth open and stuff. And then he would take and like insert his penis in the picture.
Photoshop, yeah.
I mean, just
very,
everything.
very juvenile.
Like if somebody was sitting with their legs slightly apart, they take a picture of that and then have his penis.
have his dick all photoshopped in between.
Like,
I mean, that
doing?
is so like middle school, You get, take a picture of these girls, yawning, as you mentioned, with their mouth open, insert, Photoshop there. And I mean, this guy is, I mean, you look up sexual deviant, you're gonna find pictures of this guy. This guy's gonna be in the conversation for sure. I can't get over it. Oh man. All right. We got just a couple minutes left, and it is time for shameless promotion time. And that would be, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, Hellvirus Haunted Asylum of Horror. That's right. Which is live on Kickstarter as we speak. And you can head over there. We are almost to the goal of 2,000. Which will, if I'm not mistaken, will help with set design and things of that nature. So go over there, help fund this. I may be able to get my first acting gig if you guys help us out. And if you can't donate, because I know times are tough, do the next best thing. Share it far and wide wherever you have reach, and that will be greatly appreciated. Also, tomorrow night, the Indie Horror Junkie podcast. That's right. The Indie Horror Junkie podcast with myself and rotting Ricky D, Rick Danford, the founder of the Indie Horror Junkie. I got all of the, here we go. Right there. The Indie Horror Junkie magazine. There's all the links to go check them out. Follow us over there on YouTube. There's a new group, the Indie Horror Junkie group, and then there's a page. Follow both of them, as well as the podcast Facebook page. Follow us there as well. We have Ted Nicolau. I hope I get that right before tomorrow night. Ted will be joining us tomorrow. You may know him directing such things as the Subspecies movies. So that's going to be, as well as like TerraVision, the cult classic from the 80s. We're going to be talking all things indie horror, all those links down there. And if you have a indie horror project and would like to get some promotion, There's the Gmail right down there. Contact them. They have advertising and packages to get you in the magazine or possibly on the podcast to talk with us. So send a email if you have a indie horror. It has to be horror and it has to be an indie project. But it doesn't have to be a movie. It can be any form, whether it's comic books, whether it's music. If it's indie, if it's horror, we want to hear about it. Send us an email, and please be patient. We got a lot of things going on, building the podcast, getting the new issue of Indie Horror Junkie magazine, the online magazine that will feed your need for indie horror. That new issue is coming out the 13th of this month. So get on that. And you can also download you can also download all the past issues. Check out the Indie Horror Junkie hotties. Our own Savette Holder, Helvira herself, was one of them. That is why. Who is this person? This is why we don't talk anymore. LOL. You're so busy. Identify yourself, sir or ma'am. So yes. Any forms of media, comic books, just anything. It's Udis. It is Sherry. And that is true. I'm a busy guy, man. If I'm not working, I'm behind this damn mic. So we got a lot of good things coming. So again, 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow evening. And thank you, Carl. Carl B. Dreads wanted to say bye. Mrs. Dreads, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Carl. You guys have a great Tuesday, and be very wary of cupcakes.
Be wary of everything.
Be wary of everything. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk next week. Actually, the show may be moving to Wednesday mornings.
Right.
It may. I got to work some things out with work. So, but have a great Tuesday.